So for the book I read for my IRP was Solo by Kwame Alexander with Mary Rand Hess. And for the settings, it was a little in LA, and then the rest was basically in Africa when he wanted to go find his birth mom. And then the character is Blaine Morrison. He was the main character of the whole story. And for the central conflict was when he found out that he was adopted, and so his sister wasn't his real sister, his dad, his mom wasn't his real sister, and then, well, I feel like I kind of have like 3 rising actions, because he was kind of feeling like he was different because he didn't look like them, and he was like, I'm nothing like my dad because I'm not a druggie, I would never do this, blah, blah, blah. And he just didn't see the similarities between him, but like the music, because his whole family had loved music. And the second one was when his sister said, the reason you don't look like us, you're a shade darker, you like quiet stuff, you're not risky, you don't stand up for yourself, is because you aren't a Morrison, you're adopted. And so that was really big. And another rising action I feel like was finding the envelopes after he figured it out, that he finds the envelopes, and he's like, and it's from his mom, his adopted mom, which she is dead now. She died. But so he's finding these letters she wrote to him that she wanted him to read after she had passed. And so they were talking about his mom, and it gave the name and stuff like that. So that was helping to make the central conflict, which was when he was going to find out, because he was adopted, who his mother was. And so the climax was he actually went to Africa. And so when he went to Africa, he had no idea what to do. And so he was confused. It was so different. Like, he had a taxi drive him, and then he met this girl named Joy. And she showed him, like, around and got him to, like, a village. And this guy goes to the village his mother is at, like, every day or so in the morning. And every other day maybe. But he's planning to go there. But then, like, out of nowhere, a major storm happened, and like and so he couldn't go, and he was there for a few, like, almost like maybe 2 weeks. And then so he got to know Joy, which he soon started having a crush on, and started having feelings for. And then he got to meet all these orphan kids who she worked with, and he had one that really got attached to him named Sia, and she got really, like, close, and they were really close to get close, and she, like, loved him. So sometimes he'd get persuaded from her to get, like, to stay instead of leave. So that also was not helping him not get to his mom. But so he got to feel how it was in Africa. And then finally, and then out of nowhere, his dad shows up, and he was very, very mad. He was not happy about that, because he wanted to do this on his own, and he wanted to find out who she was on his own, not with his help, because he felt like he didn't need his help. He wasn't helping at all. So then after that, what happened was, so he came, and he had this camera guy, and it was like following us around and stuff, because he wanted to make it up to him, and he wanted to be on TV. So soon, his dad, Rutherford, he actually starts to be like a really good dad, and he gets attached to Sia too, and he's really compassionate about it, and wanting to help them get washing machines, make dorms and stuff like that. And he's like really passionate about it. He's not like, oh yeah, I'll totally do this and just leave. So he's like figuring out how it feels to not be rich like he is. So then he finally takes a while to travel, but he finally gets to where his mom is. And then when she comes out, she automatically knows that that's her son, and she's like ecstatic about it. So when he meets her, he actually faints and gets unconscious and was so confused for a while. But then they got to know each other, but there's going to be a landslide. So when it rains and storms really bad where they are, it turns into a landslide. So they had to leave. But he actually got to meet his mom, which was like a really big thing to him. So he was like really, really happy. So, but yeah, he was really happy about that. But when he left at the end, which was my favorite part because him and his dad got close, and him and Joy said they'd go on a date, which really warmed my heart. The only bad thing was that Sia passed away, sadly, and that was really hard on everybody, especially his dad, who really grew attached to her. So it was really hard for him to believe that this was happening. But the theme, I feel like, is don't take for granted what you have, and you can't judge until you walk 2 moons in their shoes or something like that. And because they never knew, they had to get so used to being in Africa and how they're not that rich there. They don't have so much money. They have to walk 5 miles just to reach the water to wash their clothes and get good water. And sometimes it's not even good water, and the food may not be that good, but they had to get used to it and know how it feels to do that. So I feel like that was my theme. That was the theme of the story. At least that's what I think Kwame Alexander was trying to tell us. But and he actually, Solo was nominated for a few awards. Sadly, they didn't win. I think they should have won. I can't tell you how much I enjoy this book. I don't do poetry, and it gets really boring to me sometimes. But this book I think this is my top favorite book right now. But it was so good, and I'm stunned that it didn't get awards. But I think it's pretty new, so I think it should be getting awards soon because it's a pretty awesome book. But yeah, so that was the main thing of my book report. And but yeah. And so that was most of my things. And sorry, my cat. But yeah, and I really enjoyed this book, and I'd recommend it to a lot of people. And so yeah. Thanks for watching.